I wanted to make the comment that a lot of my friends, they had iPods that had a 1-year warranty or whatever, and it seemed like about 1 year and 1 month, and they all went
down.
Yeah, and then you're thinking about, what are you going to do? Oh, guess what? There's a new iPod that just came out.
Yeah.
Seems to be how the system works.
Yeah.
And then you've got De Beers running the diamond trade, which is if you really look into it, diamonds aren't even a precious gem. They're a semi-precious gem. There's millions more of them than most people know about, and they hide them in a warehouse, and they keep the supply low so that they can charge more for them. And people think that they're the ultimate gift or whatever. It's just a hunk of rock.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow, if people only knew how this thing really works, if everybody knew. I forget who the famous quote was from, but he said there'd be a revolution overnight. Henry Ford said that. Thank you very much, Shannon. Yeah. Shannon, let me get to you here. There's you would say a myth that people have no incentive to do anything if there's no money involved in the system.
Yeah, I agree that it is a myth, and it's a myth because we've been indoctrinated in a system that's developed by the monetary system. So obviously a monetary system is going to evolve a set of principles that have people believing that I need to make money to enjoy my work. But if you really looked at it, how many people that actually enjoy their work do it for the money? Most of them have a challenge that they find their work is challenging. In fact, you ask a person who's not happy about his job, money's not going to make any difference about whether he's happy or not. Secondly, if you look at almost every invention, every creation that was ever done by any individual scientist, philosopher, whatever you want to do, almost none of them did it for money. How many big and famous people have you ever heard say, I do this for free? There's lots of people who do their jobs for the challenge. There's tons of people who do them for a lot of other reasons than money. Money is great if your job is crap. You may as well get some money out of it because you can't get anything else out of it. And one of the tenets of the Zeitgeist movement and the Venus Project is to get rid of those garbage jobs that nobody wants to do anyway. We want to use technology to replace those jobs. So fundamentally, I don't even think greed is actually a normal trace within mankind or a normal trait within mankind. I think these are all conditioned, and they're conditioned by a monetary system.
Absolutely, yeah, and I don't get paid for what I'm doing here, and I love it. But everything that I've ever been paid to do, I wouldn't have done it if I wasn't getting paid. I think it was the Zeitgeist movement that brought this to my attention. But something like 50% of Americans surveyed were involved in volunteerism for something like
4 hours a week. I think.
4 hours a week, 20 hours a month, something like that. Which is just blows my mind in a country like America that's so much wrapped up in this consumerist culture.
Oh.
I think that kind of gives you an idea of how it would work in a what do you call it, a resource-based society. People would do it just for the honor of
Well, I think you made a good point there when you talked about the United States. The United States has probably one of the lower levels of, certainly in the industrialized world or the first world, has one of the lowest levels of any kind of social services around. So as you can see, as they drop the ball, citizens kick in, they start picking the ball up. And that's true of almost any society. And you find societies where they don't pick up the ball, they usually have a good social system, or relatively good social system, so human beings don't feel the need to necessarily have to do those kind of things as relatively as they do in the United States. So again, without money, if we had no money in the system, there's all sorts of creative ways people would come to the table, and you can build a whole infrastructure based on that.
Absolutely. So the Zeitgeist Vancouver group is really expanding fast. What kind of events have you guys held so far, and what has the public response been like? Either one of you. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I'll continue. The question was, it's growing fast, and what have we done so far? Yeah, it is growing very fast. It's growing almost exponentially, really, since we started. We started just over a year ago as a very small group and a couple of coffee tables. And from that, we went on to build websites and devise infrastructure and all sorts of elements involved in it. Over the summer, we sort of honed our skills. We got a table, and we did a lot of stuff locally. We did the Davy Days, we did Car Free Day, we did the Gay Pride Parade, we did Under the Volcano. We got involved in a lot of these different functions, and we presented we had sort of a table there and a tent, and we spread awareness. And that's really our main goal right now, is to spread awareness. We also, at least once a month, we try to be in front of the art gallery in Vancouver, and we do the same thing there. So in the beginning stages, that's what we're trying to do. We're building infrastructure and we're creating awareness. Currently now we are, have grown, well, about a week ago, we had a meeting. About a week ago, we had 80 people show up at our meeting.
That is huge.
Yeah, and we started off again with a Facebook page that had very few people on it, and it grew and grew. Maybe we had 30 or 40. Now we have over 160. We've helped with the development of Facebook pages across the entire country in all sorts of cities. They're all in the 200s and 300s. Some of us up as 1,000 members. That's just in Canada. And we've got them in big and small cities alike. And now we're moving into web design and web pages, and we've got those now in 3 or 4 different cities, or 5 or 6 maybe now. And we're helping all those people that had built face pages to develop websites, and we're building core teams across the entire country in big and small cities alike. So that part is growing as well. I'm going to let Matt probably fill in some more other details because he has some things I might have missed.
Absolutely. Thank you, Matt.
Well, we've been involved in various other media. I've written a couple articles for the Agora. It's a national independent newspaper.
That's the agoranational.ca if you want to
Yeah,
check it out online. There's also 5,000 copies in print every month in Vancouver.
Yeah. March 13th and 14th will be Z-Day all over the world. On the 13th, Vancouver will be out in front of the art gallery again for the entire day or entire afternoon. And on the 14th, we've booked a concert hall, and it's going to be kind of a symposium with information booths, speakers, clips from films, and discussion. We're trying to make it as interactive as possible. And later down the line, internationally, Peter Joseph is releasing the third Zeitgeist film called Zeitgeist Moving Forward. This should be in October 2010, and it will deal with more aspects about the Venus Project, a resource-based economy, to really try to nail down the points that we're talking about, to show that it is possible, that it's not just some utopian pipe dream or something like that. Furthermore, the Venus Project has announced that they're doing a world tour throughout the rest of 2010, starting right after Z-Day, and Vancouver is aiming to get them here in October as well.
Wow, that's very exciting. I had no idea about the third film. When the second one came out, it was timed just perfectly with the beginning of this worldwide economic collapse, and I was very excited by it. And this third one, I can't wait to check it out, because these films are just as high a production value as you can get in a documentary film. There was in Venus, Florida, I believe there was that's where the project began, I guess.
Yeah.
And was the plan to start like a city?
Eventually, right now we have to educate people to show them what is possible, wake them up a bit, because you can't just build a city right now and drop people in with air conditioning. They'd be completely obtuse. They wouldn't know what to do. Mm-hmm. So we are in our infancy state with the Zeitgeist movement, and people are waking up to the Venus Project all over the world. Right when Zeitgeist Addendum was released, the Venus Project absolutely exploded with popularity, and that's one of the reasons why they've announced this world tour that they're going to do. Eventually, down the line, we'll have to start first they actually want to make a major motion film, and Jacques, the founder of the Venus Project, has said it will be called And the World Will Be One, and it will show a family in the future, showing the transition of how we got to be there. Because the transition there's not a definitive plan, because there's too many variables to determine. But eventually we will want to build a research or like a demo city with scientists doing their research to show what is possible, what's the most efficient way to create a city or a global society like this.
So you're talking about like a feature film that would be sort of like a fictional representation of what it could be like?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that would be very interesting too. Wow, very cool. So if anyone wants to check it out, it's zeitgeistvancouver.com. Is that right?
Zeitgeistvancouver.com is the local site.
Beautiful.
Yeah. And then there's the zeitgeistmovement.com, which is the international site, and then the venusproject.com.
Very nice. Okay, well, I encourage everyone in town to check these guys out when they're doing their March 13th Z-Day, and it's monthly at the art gallery and all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to thank you guys very much for coming in. It was a great interview, and hope to talk to you guys again in the near future.
Well, since Matt said hello, I'll say goodbye. Thanks a lot for having us.
There you go. Thanks again. We're going to play the